Welcome back to Young and Unscripted. We're back.
Sienna's back, guys.
I'm back. I've been gone. I'm sorry. But actually, we did just want to have a little quick disclaimer that there will just be some times where we won't all three of us be able to be together just because of the acting life. This is just how it is. It's really busy.
It's what it is.
But yeah, we're definitely going to try and do as much as we can together. So if you see only two of us, the other person hasn't been kicked out.
We're all friends.
We're all still friends. It's just sometimes the way it works. Yeah. But we're very excited for today's episode.
Yeah, today's episode. Should we just get straight into it?
Let's do it.
So for today's episode, we're just going to talk about how to put yourself into the right alignment, like be in the right situation, position, have the right friends to attract the right energy. Yeah. And so your friends encourage you to follow your dreams.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's a really interesting topic to have when, especially in our shoes, when being in the acting / creative industry. I feel like having the right friends are so important. And I feel like we did briefly touch on this in the first episode that we did. Because I think with acting, when you're not doing well, people are less likely to want to be your friend. But then when you do well, or when you're in something and they see you on TV or they see you on a commercial and they're like, oh my gosh, I went to school with her, I know her. Then suddenly everyone wants to be your friend, everyone wants to sing your praises, everyone wants to repost, talk about, that's my friend.
When you start off with acting, everybody's like, come on, what are your hopes? What are you hoping for?
Literally.
Come on, and then you're succeeding, and they'll be like, okay, I knew you can do it. I believed in you.
Exactly. Do you know what I always think of? You know that song by Jessie J, Who's Laughing Now? Do you know that song? And I always think of that song because there's I think there's a line where she's like, oh, I can't remember it, but there was something like when she was in school, when everyone used to make fun of her. It was something about Bugs Bunny teeth or something like that. I might be getting that wrong. But now everyone's hitting her up like, hey Jessie, let me share those photos, and it's like,
that's why you have to be really careful with who you choose to be friends with. Yeah. Because you really don't know who's actually have your back.
Yeah. But I feel like also it is not easy to know who's on your side, but you definitely follow your intuition for sure.
100%.
You can see the people who are in your corner fighting for you and who actually want you to do well, and the other people who are there just on a superficial basis. So I definitely think follow that intuition and follow your gut, but you do I feel like I know who my friends are and who actually want me to do well. If I get a self-tape or something, Panya's like, go girl, we love this.
When I see them get so happy, it's I'm happy for you. Obviously.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. I feel like as well within this industry, it's not even just your friends outside of the industry, but your friends in the industry. That can sometimes be worse because you think that you're all on the same path, but then say Panya gets a self-tape and I don't get a self-tape, then if I turn around and was like to her, I wasn't actually happy for her, I was like, oh, okay, cool, good luck, but I didn't actually mean it, then you can see that I'm being a fake friend to Panya, do you know what I mean? But I feel like if I was really, and I always would be very supportive, I always would be very happy for her, and I think, as I said before, singing each other's praises, it's so important because everybody has their own life path, and this is kind of off topic, but I was actually talking the other day about how I saw a thing on TikTok and it said that you're never late to your own life, and that whole thing of comparison being the thief of joy, and that if say we both went up for something and you got it, and then your career excels from there, and then mine didn't really go anywhere, and suddenly you're in big movies, and I'm like, oh, we're the same age, and she's doing this, we did the same thing, she's doing that, and I'm not doing anything. But the thing is, everyone is on a different journey, and nothing that's meant for you will pass by you. So that might not be my journey, and that might not be the role, like the way that my life was supposed to turn out, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna not make it. Like I always use Viola Davis as a example, because she didn't make it until she was much older, but she's now one of my favourite actresses, and she's done so well. But it's everyone takes
you can just see it with the actors. Like everybody has such a different journey.
Yes.
Everybody did different things. School, drama school, part-time school, courses, workshops, like everything is so different. There's not like do this and you can do that and then you will do that and then you succeed.
Exactly.
It's not like there's so many different paths you can do.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't compare yourself.
No,
like,
exactly.
It doesn't make sense to compare yourself with others.
Yeah.
In acting.
And I think it's actually interesting that you bring up drama school. I mean, neither of us have gone to like the 3-year BA acting because we do drama school part-time. But I think drama school is also a really, really interesting one, because what I've heard is that it can sometimes be a really toxic environment, because it's that thing of everyone going up for the same roles. Everyone's like roughly the same age. Everyone's in the same cohort. Everyone's hearing about the same thing. So it just breeds competitivity? Competitivity?
Competitive, yeah.
Competitive spirits. It breeds that.
I didn't know that sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's pros and cons for it, and that's not to say that every drama school is really, really toxic, but yeah, I've definitely heard some things where people were like, yeah, drama school is such a toxic experience for me, because everyone was just going up for the same things and everyone wants that role. There's one role and everyone wants it, so it's hard. It is hard, and I think finding the right friends sometimes can be hard, and I feel like it's a journey.
Yes, definitely.
And I think
you have
growing
to be patient.
up,
Patience is like key in this journey.
I think so, and I think you will just kind of automatically find your way there as well.
You just have to have fun in the journey.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? I saw another quote, and it was about how it's a relationship quote, but I feel like it applies to friends as well. And the quote is, I feel like you would have heard it. I feel like everyone's heard this quote, but it's better to have loved and it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Yeah, you've heard that quote.
Yeah.
But I feel like that can definitely be about friends as well. True. Because sometimes, you might not meet people who are 100% on your side, but you might have like a really great, 6-month friendship with them. And there is also this theory about like this train, like people will get off at the stop. Not everyone's going to go from the first station to the last station to your final destination. People are going to get off, and just let them get off. And if they're not like your true friend, then they will just get off, and let them do that. But I don't know, with that like 6-month friendship that you have, enjoy it and have fun, because there will also be like good things out of it, and not everyone's just like solely toxic and horrible.
True.
I feel like it just being in this industry is hard sometimes as well. Like it does breed competitivity. So
that's true. It's interesting when you said the train.
Yes,
the train
it's one of my favourite.
The train example. I really like that.
Yeah,
it's definitely true. Like you will lose people like in your journey, and it's
for sure.
It doesn't have to be in the bad terms, but I feel like it's just normal.
Yeah.
But it's just, if you want to grow, you have to also grow your environment you're in. You know, the people you with. So the people I'm with, like with you guys, like I definitely see like a growth in my environment as well.
Yes.
You know, like people are like doing the same thing as I am, or like having the same beliefs and like dreaming big.
Yeah.
You know, so my environment grew, so that makes you grow as well.
Yes.
You know.
I feel like I'm just full of analogies today, but also I'm just a quote book, guys. But I think also that thing of you never want to be the best person in the room. If you're the best person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You want to be with people who make you feel inspired, who make you grow. Someone like that you want. I feel like in our drama class, there's so many different things that people do that I'm like, I want to take that. I want to be able to do what you do. That's amazing. And I feel like if you feel like you're the best in the room, then you need to move rooms. You need to go lock that door and get into a new one.
The growth comes with changes. You have to, get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And be around people who inspire you, like you said. That's so important.
Yeah.
Your environment is so important.
It is.
Also, like growing up, like how you grew up and the environment you grew up. I feel like this is what makes your mindset, this is what prepares you for how the person you're going to be.
100%, and I think it's interesting to see different people's mindsets as well, because I feel like people approach things very differently, but one way is not good and one way is not bad, but it's just different people's ambitions, different people's goals, and what different people are comfortable with. And I think also talking about like growing and things like that, there is a very big difference between growing. I feel like Alid spoke to us about this, but you want to grow, but there's also like this danger zone of like, I'm going to push you enough so you feel challenged, but I'm not going to push you so much that you feel uncomfortable, and then you retreat, and then you never want to do it again.
Exactly.
So I think in your environment, make sure you feel comfortable and make sure you feel safe and that you are ready to learn and challenge yourself, but never ever force yourself into an uncomfortable situation because you feel like that's going to make you grow, or like, I need to do this. That's not the way it is. And I think going back to the whole friends thing, if you find that they're truly your friends, no one's ever going to push you to do something that you're not comfortable with.
Like, you have to be like feels in a safe place.
Yes.
Where everybody, you know that whatever you do, nobody's gonna make fun of you for doing that because you're trying out new things.
Yeah.
And even if you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, because you want to get out of your comfort zone, you have to have the right people that are gonna
support.
That are gonna support you and be like, you got this. Because if they're gonna people, when you go out in out of your comfort zone, and people are actually like there for you, it's gonna make it so easier to like actually go for something that you're so scared of.
Yeah.
You know, if there's gonna people who actually gonna say, "Are you sure? Like, are you not scared?" Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, okay, that's true. Then I'm like,
you're gonna put it in your mind. It's gonna be in the back of your mind.
And then you're like, okay, that's actually an uncomfortable situation. I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the people who encourage you to do that. You know, so the people that get into your head, they're actually like, this is so important. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a hard one as well. I feel there's always like the balance, isn't it, of like knowing people's intentions, because also that thing of like getting in your head, people can purposely like try and get in your head because they're like, oh, I don't think they should go for this, like I want this or whatever. So I think just knowing your boundaries, knowing the people around you, then you'll be okay. But I feel like the main takeaway from like making sure you're in the right environment is just loving the people that you're with, and wanting to be with them, and feeling like you're accomplishing something, and feeling like you're having a good time, and every time you're with them, like every time I see you guys, I'm like, oh, that's such a good day, you know, like
I love it.
It's been so fun, and like, oh, I've learned something, I've like had a great conversation, I feel safe, I feel happy, and I feel like when you go home and you feel positive and you're like, yeah, I've had a really great time, then you know that those are your people, you know that they're your people.
How do you think you find those people? Because I feel like a lot of people are so like, they don't really have the right friends, and they don't know how to find the right friends that are actually like want the same thing as they want.
Yes. I think it's really hard, because I would say it's only this year that I have made friends that want the same things that I want, right?
Same.
Because my friends, I do have friends who are creative, but not in like the acting sense.
Same.
So it's really hard, because I also do believe that like opposites attract, and so many of my friends that I've had for many, many years are not in this industry and technically don't want the same things that I want, but that doesn't mean like that they're not my friends or that they don't want the best for me, because they've seen me on this journey from the very beginning, from when I first said I wanted to be an actor, and they supported me so much, but I feel like you just know by the way that they get excited for you, and like the friendships that you formed and the foundations of that friendships and of those relationships. I think you just start to realise who wants what. I think also it's interesting because when you get into this industry, knowing who's using you for certain things, especially like with acting, they might be like, oh, you have this kind of profile, let me use you to get here. It's like, no, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think in terms of finding, I don't know, it's hard because I feel like, this year I've definitely found my people in terms of like not everyone has the same goals, but like the majority of us, we kind of want that same finish line, and I feel like that makes it easier for us to plan things. And also, what I think it's really helped with is holding each other accountable, because I think when you have friends, for example, who aren't in this industry, it's easy for them to just be like, don't worry, like you're doing fine, you're on your own like path, that's great. But like you guys would be like, no, okay, where's this post, when are you going to the drama room to practice this, or like when are we doing this podcast, when are we booking the room, stuff like that, because we know that if we don't do it, then it's not going to get done, and
nothing's going to come out of it.
Exactly. So I feel like in terms of holding each other accountable, I feel like I haven't answered your question at all, but like holding each other accountable is something that I've really found with having.
No, I feel like a lot of people though struggle with actually finding the right friends. Not just acting wise, and like I feel like just like actually friends that they can have actually like quality time, like that are actually there for them. And like any industry, I feel like I hear that a lot, that like a lot of people just don't have that many friends and they want like a big friendship group. And I didn't have like that, like it's since I came to London. I mean, I have a lot of friends, but I feel like actually like pushing each other is like, this is just another feeling of having just normal friends and just gonna hang out with and like, you know, and I think it's just so important to have that, but a lot of people struggle with it, and I feel like you just have to go think about what you actually want, who you want to be, and then go to those places you think those people would be and where you would be. Well, where is that place where you think you could find those people that you could be friends with? You know, for me it was like acting school. Like I know, okay, I'm gonna find the right friends there. But like for anyone else, like who has other interests, you should just go to where you are interested in. Maybe find people who have the same interests and start like building your environment out of like peace and like, you know.
Well, I feel like also if you go to places where it's like things that you like to do, then you're going to find someone there who has a similar interest because you're both there. I think for actors, something I would recommend is going to like the creative networking events, because you're going to find so many people in the same position as you, like starting up or have been in the industry for a while but nothing's really come of it, and they're really trying to like grind, and then you make connections through that way, and then you can make work together. And I don't know, like I feel like I've made some great friends this year from auditions, like random, because in auditions again I think it has that stigma of everyone's up against each other, why are you all now friends? But no, it's just like when you see people round one, or you see them again round two, and you're like, oh, it's you, hey! You know that thing of like when you first see someone, you just walk past them, and the second time you'll smile, and the third time you're like, hey! And then it's like each time you're like, oh my gosh! And then you actually build this sort of like friendship and relationship. And I feel like,
it was us as well.
Because we met like in the induction day, didn't we? And I feel like, just the more that you see people and you start to see the same people in like the similar crowds as well, because I feel like not even just with acting, with whatever niche you have or whatever you like doing, you're going to see the same people over and over again, so you will start to know who your people are.
I would also think like when you go to the gym as well, like that's the place where you can find a lot of friends, because you all like have the same mindset right now. And a lot of people make friends in the gym, and they're actually like friends that are keep like being there for you, you know.
And I feel like also it's that thing of holding each other accountable. If you meet someone in the gym, you're like, okay, tomorrow we're here again. I mean, I can never talk about myself in the gym because I never turn up. I'm never there, so my gym membership is getting wasted.
Oh no! You have a gym membership?
I have a gym membership.
Oh no!
I don't remember the last time I went.
Oh, no.
But I completely agree with you. It's a good place because everyone, again, like they're just on that grind. Do you know what it is? It's something about like being on a grind and having a motivation that's like
definitely
for sure. I think that's what like helps with your environment.
So choose a random number, guys. And it's what makes you grow a lot.
Definitely. I feel like as a person, as a professional, as anything, being in the right environment is going to nurture you so much and going to boost your trajectory so high.
Like, since I changed my environment, I felt such a huge growth in myself, because my environment grew as well, and you know, you guys are like there, and like everything, like you guys are growing, and I can see myself growing with you guys. Like, it's just, I can see such a change in me, in myself, since I changed my environment.
So next is...
Should we get to some Q&A
I think we should do some Q&A questions.
You guys send us some questions on Instagram.
Yes.
Definitely, if anything, if you have more questions, always pop them up.
Yes,
Definitely.
follow us
Also
at...
Instagram.
Was it Young and Unscripted Pod?
Yeah.
Yes, Young and Unscripted Pod. You can find us on TikTok as well. And make sure you're just DMing us, answering our story questions, interact with us, let us know what you want, because obviously we want to cater this for you guys as well, like you're our viewers, so definitely let us know what you want.
The first question someone asked, what are some difficulties you faced as an actor?
Okay. You go first.
So for me, I feel like the first steps of actually becoming an actor, like actually becoming it, like actually putting my mindset and being like saying that I'm an actor, was the difficulty by itself. Like actually saying that I'm an actor, I'm doing it, and taking the first step of actually becoming one is, I feel like it's just difficult to actually change your whole like life. Like you'd be like, okay, I want to do this as an actual profession, and choose to actually just commit yourself to acting and don't have any other plans like plan B's, and like actually choose, okay, you know what, I want to have acting as my profession, I want to be a full-time actor. I feel like actually making that decision, because it's a 50-50 challenge, like it is not like, you know, it's hard to be a full-time actor, but I feel like making the decision of actually becoming one and like, you know, pursuing that is hard itself. Like actually be like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna have any other, like, I don't want a backup plan. You know, but I feel like that was one of the difficulties for me, to actually decide I don't want a backup plan anymore. Like I want to do that 100%, go for it, and only pursue that, nothing else. That's definitely a challenge for me, and I feel like the rejection that comes with it, I feel like by the time it's been a while now, I feel like by the time that I've been actually like, I'm used to it. Like I get that I'm not gonna get a response even if like I got rejected. You only get a response if you are getting the role. So it was difficult at first, but I feel like becoming an actor, you have to just be okay with rejection. So I knew that before. So there was I feel like I faced that pretty okay, like it was pretty okay to like face the rejection after a while. But there are a lot of difficulties, I can't lie.
Acting is a hard profession, but I think I'd have to agree with you in terms of my difficulties. I think number one, I think there's three. I think number one is dedicating yourself to it, because as you said, it's one of those industries where even people in the industry will tell you to have a backup plan. Like that's how hard this industry is, where even our teachers will be like, no, like have something else as well, make sure that you can make money another way. So it's hard to just be like, no, I want to throw everything at it, but you have to. It's one of those things where if you don't, then you're just not giving yourself the opportunity to thrive and to flourish. And I think I was saying yesterday that I feel at the moment like I'm in a bit of a rut, like I just haven't done much in a while, and I think also it is because I haven't really given myself time to really reset. I feel like there was like a period of time, like when the new year came and I was busy, like I was doing this, that and the other, and I was just constantly signing up for things. And I feel like now it's got to summer, you know, we have plans and things that we want to book and stuff like that, so I'm working a lot, as in my part-time job, to be able to fund all of that, but obviously all the hours I'm doing it, that is all the hours I'm not spending being creative. So I think it's hard because it is that thing of, well, I need money, but then also I want to be able to be creative and I want to be able to do what I love. So it is really hard, but I think, not having a backup plan is really, really hard. But it's something that you do just have to throw yourself into. Mm-hmm. I think also, as you said, rejection. As you said, it's kind of worn off. Like there'll be some projects that you do and you don't get it and you're like, okay, like, cool.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it hurts, but...
Yeah. But then there's others where you put your heart and soul into it and you're like, that's a good self-tape. Like, that was actually, that was good. And then it doesn't go anywhere and you're like, oh, I really tried with that one. Mm-hmm. But it is just the nature of the industry again. The third one, actually coming by self-tapes and opportunities. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's some weeks where I won't even get a self-tape, where I won't get a casting, I won't get anything. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, if I don't even have the opportunities to be seen, then how will I ever actually create work? And I think that links in into something that anyone in the industry will always say is, make the work you want to be in, because the work's not always going to come to you. You might not even get a self-tape that week, so then what are you going to do? Because then you're just sitting around. So yeah, I struggle with the infrequency of it as
definitely,
well.
Yeah, there's a lot of weeks I haven't self-tape. Like there's period of time where I'm like, shit, you know?
Like I haven't got anything. Like what?
That's the thing. Like that's definitely something I struggle with as well.
Because it's one thing not getting a job. It's another thing not getting the opportunity to apply for the job.
Yeah.
It's like,
but at the end, like on the other side, I'm like, should I just I'm not getting self-tapes, but should I just do my own self-tapes to convince my head, like, okay, you are getting
no, also just like to practice your craft, so that
good.
When you get the self-tape, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I think it's good to practice self-tapes even if you're not sending them out.
Yeah.
I really try to do that. I write it down. I'm like, okay, this is the days I want to actually do self-tapes just for myself. But it's so hard to like actually get into that because you don't have like a deadline. You don't have like, it's no urgency. Like you don't have to do it. That's what makes it sometimes a bit like you get lazy, but you get like, okay, I don't have to do it right now.
Yeah.
But if you actually put the work in and actually like put like once a week or twice a week, you actually say, I'm just gonna do a self-tape just for the sake that doing a self-tape. It's just gonna be such a good practice. So I think that's something that I a bit struggle with, like actually dedicating myself to just do it for myself.
Yeah.
Instead of for a job or a deadline.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get into that.
I think it's a really good habit to make. I'm the same. Like, if
yeah.
I didn't have something to do it for, I'm like, I don't have time for that. But no, we need to create time because that is what this is. That's work. And also posting. Like, you have your Instagram.
Yeah, I just created a
for follow her, Panya Acting, and you've got all of the work that you do, so that if anybody ever tries to find you like a casting director or whatever, they can see exactly who you are, what you represent, what you do. So I think that's great.
I'm definitely like sometimes I just get like random followers like actors.
Yeah.
Since I have this account.
Yeah.
Like this account really helped me. Like also like on Threads. I don't know if you're on Threads.
Not on it, but I've heard.
Yeah, but like there's an algorithm you can like if you put on like acting all the time. I feel like so many you can like network on Threads. Like a lot of followers on my acting account on Instagram I found on Threads, like we all just connected. Yeah, there's like a lot of people like I want to connect with actors, casting directors, agents, and then you just put on your your Instagram and you just follow them and they follow you back too, just like kind of supporting each other.
That's why
so good. That's why I like about Threads right now. Like my account, like it's new, but it's been growing.
Yeah,
so I'm like, sure. Like, it doesn't much followers because it's new, but
it's growing.
I like for the fact that I actually had no idea what to do with this account. I feel like it's actually growing.
Yeah, it's the process. We love it. Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, just try to do the most, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like that is what you have to do in this industry. You have to do the most. Like there is never the most. Like you just have to keep on doing.
Seriously, you just have to. The work is the work.
The work is the work is the work, guys. Honestly, it is. Hey guys, it's Sienna here. Unfortunately, our footage for the end of this video has deleted, so if you want to listen to the rest of this audio, then please head over to our Spotify page. As always, thank you for watching this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. We will see you next week. Bye!